Yeah, definitely a tough time for everyone. And apparently, I was actually begging for cash this morning. I don't have cash till now. But, you know, we know people are not happy with what's happening. It can get really frustrating. But we keep saying it here. If you must protest, let it be peaceful. You know, destroying bank assets will not help us in any way, because at the end of the day, we're still going to need the banks after all of this blows up. So please, we implore you to please try not to destroy any bank assets. Just have your peaceful protests, and at some point, we'll get through all of this. At the end of the day, we'll get to a point where we can be cashless, hopefully. But now let's take the conversation forward. Now we see the domino effect of the cash crunch is being felt across sectors of the economy, and one is the agricultural industry, as most activities are cash dependent. Joining us now is Muftau Balariwa, president of the Cocoa Association of Nigeria. Join us via Zoom. Great to have you. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So from all indications, your industry is heavily cash dependent. How are you managing with the cash scarcity at this point?
Thank you. I think we are not managing anything. The country is in coma. All the villages now, most of the money that the exporters have given to our licensed buying agent, they could not get cash to get to the rural and hinterland for the people, for the customers. And as a result of this, for the past 2 weeks, we cannot receive any commodity, cocoa, sesame, whatever it is, in our various warehouses. And this has become untold hardship on our farmers. It has been very, very difficult for the farmers, difficult for the licensed buying agent, difficult for the factors, even difficult for our forwarders that are supposed to forward the goods to the ports. In all sectors, we have been stranded.
And are you people trying to make use of any of those payment channels, you know, that we have, you know, at this point? Are you trying to explore those to see how you can actually, because I know a lot of people just, you know, like to trade with cash, even though, you know, we have some of these channels. Are you exploring them at all?
Yes, what we are saying, there's nothing wrong with the policy, but it's strongly implemented. In a nation like ours, I even know a whole local government in my state, in Kwara State, that has no one single bank. So how do you go to transfer money to the customers there? So you can only transfer to your key customer, like licensed buying agent. But real farmers that's in the bush, most of them, they don't even operate, they don't have bank accounts. So they believe in cash. And if they don't see that cash, they will not release their goods to our customers. And this thing has created a serious problem in all the areas. Yes, we can transfer to them. Some of our LBs, they have banks. They are running account. But the real farmer, downtrodden people in the bush that are really doing the normal farming, as we are supposed to take this cocoa, they will not take cash. They cannot get cash. And when they don't get cash, there's no way they can give you your goods.
Yeah,
so but nothing is working as far as cocoa is concerned in all the rural areas and all other commodities too. Nobody is enjoying anything.
Definitely a tough situation from the picture you just painted there. But I know we moved recently from fifth largest cocoa producers recently. I think we moved to about 4th position. Any risk to our position with this cash crunch at the moment?
Well, the major risk, it's not likely that we will not drop further, because once the cocoa in the farms are getting spoiled, you cannot get it to the hinterland for export. And all this cocoa, because there are so many factors that are affecting cocoa. After you have done the fermentation and everything, and you cannot get it to your warehouse to export at the right time, the free fatty acid, which we call FFA, will rise in cocoa. And the customers that you are even giving, that are supposed to export, if you are unable to export to them at the right time, they will cancel their contract, because if you are supposed to ship in March, and you are not shipping the cocoa in March or May or February, because of this cash cost, you cannot even get, even the one you are already putting the money in the bush, you cannot get it back from your LPS. How are you going to ship? So it's affecting us seriously. There's nothing wrong for government to change to do cash swap. But what is wrong is that to close the old currency, it has to be, they're supposed to allow it to operate side by side, at least like 6 months, 8 months along the line, so that over time people will just fall naturally into it and they will start understanding it. But how can you just wake up overnight in a nation where so many rural areas they don't even have bank? I don't like my grandmother at home. I just tell her that, okay, you have to if you want to give us cocoa, you have to go and open her time. She don't even answer you that what do you mean? She wants her cocoa. If you wants to buy, bring your money and take it away. And because of this, it has been, people are going as far as go to the various all these cash center like
the super agents,
petrol station and co to lobby, and they are buying this naira at the heavy rate from them. You need 1,000 naira, they say you have to pay 300 naira. You need 10,000 naira, you have to pay 2,000, 2,500, 3,000. So how do you factor that to do your business? Where are you going to operate? And cocoa is a global price. They will not say because there is a cash swap in Nigeria, okay, we are going to increase your price because of the problem you are having. Nobody will listen to you. So that's why we are encouraging government, they should find means to alleviate the problem of the society. People are suffering and it is a time bomb. The government has to do something immediately to rectify the problem.
Is your association having any conversations with the government at this point?
We do. We have explained to our major supervising ministry, Ministry of Trade and Investment, Agric. All of them are also in the same shoe. Even if you tell them what is their influence with the government, because the present CBN governor does not even listen to anybody. He does things as the way he likes. Because this kind of program has to be properly processed within the community, seeking the opinions of the people. This is the way he wants to do it. This is the alternative. He wants to create an alternative for people's survival. Yes, it's good for, you say you don't want politicians to rig election. If you are blocking them in naira, are you going to block them in dollars? The politicians are even more smarter than them. You can't block them everywhere. Those who want to spend money will spend money. There's nothing we want to do about it. It is we as a nation that we should plan ourselves. Gradually we'll get into it. It is very painful for the people.
Definitely.
I don't need cash to spend. So if they are saying that policy to me, it may not affect me much because I will only do transfer. But what I'm saying, the real people that occupy the percentage of our population, which is over 75% of the people that are in the rural areas.
Obviously, the unbanked is quite a massive population at this point, and obviously this process, even though we have the good intentions, to get us to be a cashless economy, it is definitely painful, with how it's being done right now. But how do you see this impacting global cocoa prices? Because I did see a report that cocoa prices are rising, due to distortions in what we're seeing in West Africa right now.
Well, for the global market, the problem and the major problem that is causing distortion in the cocoa market is because that the production is shortfall this year. There is no enough cocoa, and because of the problem we are having in South Africa, in Ivory Coast and Ghana, create a serious pressure on Nigerian cocoa. So most of them are coming here to buy the cocoa. And what we are producing is less than what they required. So local price went up even above the terminal market. So and which is affecting the exporters seriously this year. And since you are having the contract, there's nothing you can do. You must get them their cocoa. But it's your own peculiar problem in your own country. It doesn't concern them. Because if there is cocoa and the price goes down, they will not relent on their own contract. Why should we relent on our own contracts? And we have not even get out of that problem now. Another car swaps entered, which is even create a total collapse in the industry.
All right, let's look at other matters that have to do with exports of cocoa. We know, some of our produce get rejected at the international market, either due to use of pollutants and agro chemicals. How's that being sorted now? Are our products being accepted better than before?
That's because of our own Association Cocoa Association of Nigeria. We have done enough of sensitization to our farmers, our licensed buying agents, on proper practice of cocoa. And because of this price attractiveness in Nigeria on the cocoa, everybody's trying, because if your cocoa is not well, nobody will buy it from you, and you will lose your money. So they are trying. At least people are improving now, but we are still not yet there. Why are we not yet there? Is that everybody are too much in a hurry. What the fermentation are supposed to take place for 5 to 7, 8 days to process, to ferment it, to do the fermentation. People are eager because of the price. They want to sell on time to catch up the day. But the question now, what do we really need to improve our own level of position in cocoa industry? We have to increase our production. And if we are to increase our production, we have to get the right chemical for the farmers to apply. And once this thing is done, and that's why what we are trying to do now is to ensure that in all cocoa producing states, we are planning to have all cocoa seed garden for the farmers with high yield, with good quality, and with right chemical getting to them. But it's good, as we are saying, it is very good. But we need government backing. Because if there is no proper legislation, those who are bringing in these various chemicals that are substandard to be used in cocoa farm, the government has to be on them. They have to follow them and make sure that these things are not allowed into the country. All this proliferation of chemicals are passing through our borders, our ports. The NAFDAC is there, the cocoa research is there.
So I guess we need to find a way to not let some of these chemicals into our borders. I don't know if you can hear me, Mr. Muftar. Can you hear me? Looks like Mr. Bolanriwa is frozen there. I would try and he was talking about trying to stop all those chemicals from getting into our shores so that the farmers don't have access to them to use them on their yields. But I guess technology there failing us at this time. But that was Mr. Muftar Obolanriwa, President, Cocoa Association of Nigeria, there sharing his thoughts on how the whole cash scarcity is impacting that industry. And he did mention a risk to cocoa exports, and obviously at this time cocoa prices are high, but we need to get those exports out. So it'd be great to solve this cash issue, even though we have that dream of being cashless in this economy, but we'll still keep tracking that. But next we're going to be looking at the commodities market even closer now, see what's driving oil prices and other commodities in the market. That's our next conversation. To stay with us.